Hello everybody and welcome to Flipping Pages. In this video we'll have a look at a miniature hobby magazine. This magazine is called Ravage. Now Ravage Magazine is published by coolminiotnot.com. This is issue 12, printed in March 2014. I'm quite a fan of physical magazines, and when I can, I'll try to get my hands on one. So I've got magazines like this all over my storeroom. And that's where I found this one. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to share. So on the cover, we have a character from Chaos Ball, which incidentally promises a first look at the game in this very magazine. Looking inside, we see an ad from Battlefoam, a quick nod to them for getting some advertising space. Then we got more Chaos Ball art and the editorial. Next up, table of contents. And then this is Rivet Wars from Cool Mini or Not. And it gets a little bit of a promo. Now, Rivet Wars Eastern Front. Looks like a very nice and quirky looking game with some quirky looking figures. No, I haven't really tried this game. I think I should at some point. Then we get the news. We've got news from Jasco Games, Dreamforge Games, some Games Workshop. Now, here's an article on the Morat Aggressive Force from Corvus Belly. I think it's a great coincidence that I'm flipping this magazine in 2022 because in April 2022, the new Morat Aggression set is set to be released. In this article is also some color variants, which I personally like as part of an army showcase. Here's an ad for Mercs and Myth, both of which I haven't heard much about lately. Now, Mercs went quiet about 2019. Not so sure what happened. And that leads us into a Myth article. I personally have not had a chance to play this game. Now, there's a bit of news about Mercs creating a company called Megacon Games, which is essentially Mercs under another name as their publisher. And I like that they slotted this piece of news right here. Now, the next article is Welcome to Mega City 1. Now, this is an article on the Judge Dredd miniatures games. This is a Warlord Games' Judge Dredd rule set. And more specifically, it's looking at the starter. There you go. You got Dredd, you got the Dark Judges, the Mean Machine, some really fantastic looking figures. And I also like the fact that they break down the game in some visual icons. I think that's a great idea. Moving on, there's an article on WizKid's Dice Masters. To be honest, I'm not much of a fan of dice games. Moving along, there's a Wrath of Kings short story. Now, short stories, fluff articles, character background, and such are so important for a miniature game. Well, actually, they're very important for any game. Putting a short story in a magazine gives not only a good introduction to the game, but also, for the curious, a chance to have a taste of the world. Then we have the cover story, Friday Night Lights Out, a Chaos Ball article. Now, I love myself a sports game. Sub-Duo? Sure. Blood Bowl? Sure. Dread Ball? Sure. Guild Ball? Sure. So in retrospect, it's quite unusual that I didn't give Chaos Ball a go. Actually, to be honest, I also never had a chance. The figures look really, really nice. Maybe I should. M2E from Malifaux came out around this time. Now here's a note, we're in M3 at the moment. Then there's a scenario for Zombicide. The next is an article for the game Dark Age. Now, this is a tactical piece for the Dragiri Firecast, which at the time was just released. And then, a Battletech article. A Battletech Alpha Strike article. Now, this was a nice surprise when I got a hold of this magazine. Alpha Strike, to me, was a pretty good game. I just wish more people played it. Moving on, there's an ad for Zombicide Season 2. And then a scenario for a game Leviathan. I wonder Leviathan is still around. I've got to double check on that bit. And here's an ad for Jen Haley's Miniature Painting Secrets DVD. Yep, DVDs. That's how we learn to paint. DVDs. Next up, Weird Magazine offers a few starters for the Ravage staff to sample and review for their M2E Malifaux game. Yeah, in this version, they moved the sculpts away from metal. In fact, I think they redesigned almost everything in the game. This article sees the Ravager staff give the starters that they were given a quick once around. Tactics for Rivet Wars. Now, as I said before, these guys look so quirky and interesting. I wonder why I never got into them. The fact that it's drawing inspiration from history is also a really nice touch. In the hobby section, and I'm glad there is a hobby section, there is a tutorial for a piece of scenery for Infinity. This one is the Toha Burial Grounds. It's not a very small piece. Actually, it's quite big. Heads up, it's the Crystal Brush Miniature Painting Awards promo for 2014. Then a pulp science fiction building and tips on how to make it. Now, the interesting thing is the fact that this piece uses paper mache. Now, with today's hobby shelves filled with ready-to-buy hobby materials, it's really nice that an article covers paper mache. This section is well appreciated by me. And this is the community section. The community is a bedrock to any local gaming scene. And for me, this is a great acknowledgement piece. And then an interview with Matt Forback, designer, writer. This is a very good article and very informative. I wasn't aware that he was involved in so much. Rounding up the magazine is an ad for the Cool Mini or Not Expo, a call for articles, a job ad, and ending the magazine is an Infinity promo. So that's pretty much the magazine. I like the design work that was put in the magazine, and the spread of articles was superb. Not only talking about the bigger games, but also the lesser known ones as well. Right, so I hope you liked the video. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and give us a comment or two to urge us on. And don't forget to enjoy